What happens when you are the leader and want to make sure AI is getting ingested by your organization and all your employees using it, but your employees maybe are not as excited? That's what we're going to be talking about today with Brian Samson. He is a multi-time entrepreneur. He has a bunch of companies, and he is going to tell us what he's learned from attempting to include AI, some more successfully than others, inside of these organizations. He is built his newest business is called bandsaw.ai, which in and of itself is an AI business. So he's getting in, he is neck deep in it, and we're going to do some rapid fire case studies across his businesses. Brian Samson, thanks so much for coming on Great Mondays Radio.
I am fired up to be here, Josh. Thanks.
Yeah, totally. So, you have built and sold a number of businesses. You now run, I was trying to count three, four businesses, some bigger than others, but it seems like you really got that entrepreneur thing down. Tell me a little bit about how you came to kind of be here in this moment, and then we'll quickly move right into what you're doing with AI.
Yeah, so just kind of rapid fire. This would be my 11th year as an entrepreneur, but was never an entrepreneur when I grew up. Didn't really know any entrepreneurs. Moved to San Francisco. I'm from the Midwest originally. Moved to San Francisco where worked with a totally different type of entrepreneur, like
Yep. Yep.
venture capital funded, um, raise 10 million, let's hire a bunch of people. And that was my role. I was the head of talent guy, so head of recruiting, going out there, sourcing, building companies. Then about 10 plus years ago, I raised some money myself. So I raised about $2 million. So that was hard to get, but gives you a little bit of a different perspective when you are an entrepreneur, when you've got a little bit of capital.
Hmm.
And then my business was actually a nearshoring business, which was the first real one that got me going. Grew that to about 85 people, and I lived in Buenos Aires, Argentina for the first year, and kind of saw the best and worst parts about, building a business internationally.
Hmm.
Tree-lined streets and steak dinners at a discount and
Yeah.
lots of Malbec. And at the same time, Wild West inflation, impossibly vague rules on running a business,
Yep.
very employee centric. So high taxes, like you name it. So entrepreneurship on hard mode a little bit, but ended up, growing that to over 4 million in revenue. Did that two more times, kind of a 0 to 4 million in revenue. And the biggest company I have today is called Plug Technologies, Plugg. And we're closing in on 100 engineers that we basically contract out to US companies. And they're looking for talent on the same time zone as
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and uh, reasonable discount, versus onshore, and a lot easier to work with people in Latin America than it is to offshore, and
Yeah.
somebody's working at 3 a.m. or the culture doesn't
Yep.
quite match,
We all know, yeah, we all have the pain point at this point. We all have firsthand experience. So let's start with Plug, since that's your biggest business and you just kind of talked about it. Tell us, I'm most interested in what, how you start to think about how AI might help the business, and then what you've experienced in terms of success and failure, the pushback from the people, and how you're overcoming or not, right? Like
Yeah.
totally, good with the failures too. We want to learn from those.
Yeah, so we're a decent sized company today.
Hmm.
Uh, but we're still fairly lean internally. So there's external staff, which really is our product because we're a
Yeah.
contract recruiting
Yeah. The
business.
people are your product. Yep.
Yeah, but we have less than 10 people internally that make that happen. And just so everybody understands the context, recruiting company, international. So we've got um like a sales leader. um, executive in the US. We have a couple recruiters that are south of the border, operations people south of the border, and then some agencies that kind of support us. Like I've got a tax person and a finance
Sure.
person and a
Sure.
marketing agency and all that.
Hmm.
So we have to do what I think a lot of companies do. We have to pick the right customer, position ourselves correctly, market to them, understand our competition, make sure our offering's good, deliver on that offering, and then contracts, collections, invoices, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
It's all
Deliver,
working on the business, right? Like
yeah,
getting
deliver
that.
the service, onboard our talent, make sure they stay, kind of check in, and then have a diverse customer base, and
All
ensure
the stuff.
that we continue to grow. Yeah.
I hope the punchline is you're going to replace, you're going to do all that with AI. What did you first want to tackle? Like, what are you
Yeah.
thinking?
So where I'm at is the business doesn't entirely run through me anymore, which is good. And I think because it's not my first rodeo, I could kind of organize the business pretty quickly where, um, if your listeners are familiar with EOS, Entrepreneur Operating System,
Sure.
um, we're not like a rigid follower of that, but I like some of the mindset and I've read traction. So I'm certainly the visionary in this world.
Hmm.
I have the president of our business is the implementer, and he's a 30-year executive in the staffing world, brilliant at the day-to-day blocking and tackling, grinding of get a customer, move them through, get a rec, fill it, make some money,
Yeah.
move on to the next one.
That's
Just like
awesome.
this kind of factory, which puts me in a position where I can focus a lot more on kind of like founder brain type stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and the way I might even think about it is I'm trying to be like 1 year ahead at all times. So I'm thinking like what's coming, what are the customers we want to attract next year? Do we have the infrastructure and the team? I should be out there as like the ambassador for Latin America, the ambassador for Plug. Um, so like every year I'm trying to think of like what's next and,
Hmm.
position ourselves and make sure we have capital and all these things. So what's really been on my mind, I think, since like second half of 2024 was AI. And I think like the first, besides like the meeting minute stuff, like the Fireflies and the read.me, that was kind of an easy implementation.
Yeah.
But I think like the first tool that kind of blew my mind was something called SendSpark. And it's a sales tool. And what you would do with that is you could record like a 30-second video and have this like big CSV file of 1,000 contacts. And you would say your thing, like your pitch, like, you know, hey, I'm Brian, I'm the founder of Plug, and I want to tell you about Latin America talent, right? But you would say during the video, you would record it within the SendSpark platform. Hey, Watermelon, I'm Brian. I'm the founder of Plug, and I want to tell you about Latin America, why it's good for your business. So by saying watermelon,